of the slideshow where I get to brag, and I show a picture of Shohana and Stevie Joy and our precious little Maria. And we've been so privileged to adopt those three beautiful children from China. But it was in the hotel hallway in Changsha, China, when we adopted our very first little girl, Shohana, who's here with us tonight, and she's 11 years old now, which is unbelievable. She celebrated her 11th birthday last week. That I finally got it. I was so scared to adopt, and in my own strength, it didn't feel like I could do it in my own strength. And I knew that we were taking steps of obedience, and I knew that God had called us to adopt, and I knew that we were being faithful in that calling, but I was really, really scared. I was worried that she wouldn't like me, that maybe I wouldn't like her as well as I like my natural children. I call them my natural children because they're my supernatural children, because God did such an amazing, amazing work in my heart. Because, thank you, when I got out into the hallway and I saw Shoei, I couldn't get her out of the arms of those government officials quick enough. I just saw her, and I just would have died for her in that moment. And it was that powerful, it was that profound. It was as if I heard Jesus Christ himself whispering in my ear, "Do you get this now? She has no name, she has no inheritance. You had absolutely nothing to do with you coming together with her. I see you no different. You had no name, you have no inheritance. But now you have a name, you have an inheritance, because you are a truly loved daughter of the King, just like she's a truly loved daughter of yours. You see her no different than your children." And so that became such a powerful, powerful visual, physical adoption into our family, became such a spiritual reality in my life that I had never, ever grasped a hold of before. And so then it really caught on fire, and that's where Show Hope came from, and our excitement, that's where Stevie Joy and Maria came out of that, and then the ongoing work to be able to help families. I know that Jeff talked earlier, the 2,500 families and children from over 45 countries. And I mean, I just think that's God's rainbow, and that's God's up to something in that. And it's such a privilege to be a part of that. And that's just really, as we have been able to help in that ministry and walk in that journey, it has just been an incredible blessing from the Lord. And so we're going along in life, and things are going great. Maria celebrated her 5th birthday. Stevie and Marie graduated from preschool. Emily, our oldest, she's here tonight, they head back to Northern Ireland tomorrow. She just got engaged. Kayla was getting ready to graduate from high school. All these things are going on in our family. And then the unthinkable happens, and Maria left to go be with Jesus. She passed away at our home on May 21st of 2008, the result of an accident. We had, all of a sudden, our world was turned upside down, and we went from all these happy things happening to having a memorial and a funeral. And as we told our daughters, we laid her shell to rest until the day that we would see her again. And it was the darkest time of my life as a mom. I would so wish that it wasn't the path that God chose for us, and that she was here, and that I wasn't here, actually, that I was at home with her. But that's not what he had for us. He had this moment and this time for us to be sharing our journey with you. And life goes on. Emily married that young man that she got engaged to, Tanner. Will Franklin turned 18, and this is the part of the story that I usually get to say at Women of Faith, because I usually can see him. I get to tell him how much I love him, how much he is my hero. He has chosen to see God in this, and he has been entrusted with an incredible story. And I tell him that it's a treasure. It's not the treasure, the kind that we think a treasure looks like, but it's a sacred trust that he and his brother have been entrusted with, and the way that they steward it and the way that they tell other people about it. I'm so, so proud of them, and I love him. I've always been close to him. I continue to just be amazed at how he's allowed God to let this work in his heart. And so again, thank you for all the prayers for him. He's doing great, as you can tell, back there beating his drums. And Caleb, and life continued to go on, and Caleb married his sweetheart Julia. You heard about that already. And But as we started navigating our way through the grief, God, in His mercy and in His faithfulness to us, we call them breadcrumbs in our home. And one of those breadcrumbs was a year after Maria passed away. We got to go to China, and we got to watch as Maria's Big House of Hope was dedicated in her name. And that's the special care facility that you heard about a little bit ago. We got to stand on China soil and cut the ribbon, and in her honor, a lot in part to a fund that was set up in her name, and dedicate this place to her. And so that was just such an amazing breadcrumb, and we get to help children. Maria was a special needs child, and she had a hole in her heart, and so to see these other children receiving the help that they receive, it's just really in her